What's up, guys? Welcome to SpawnCast. I got two other people with me tonight. Max is actually at Retropalooza with, looks like a lot of other people managed to make it out there too. So it looks like a good time, but he'll be back with us next weekend, which is neat. And what episode is this, Evan?
God, I don't even know. It's going to be 26 or 27, one of those.
26 or 27, somewhere in there. Okay. I know you've been keeping track of it on what you call it, SoundCloud and iTunes and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had a number.
It could be 27, I think.
27. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. That means we're doing it for about 27 weeks. That's about right. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So we got Philip back. Philip is, people already seen it in the chat. Philip is back.
What's going on, everyone? Good to see you guys. Good to be back in existence yet again.
Yeah. Philip is back, which is awesome because it's been a while, man. You've been busy with all kinds of stuff, but now you're finally back on the podcast. So
yes, lots of stuff going on. I know that uploads have been few and far between on my channel, but I do have something coming out very soon. I've been working on it for days now, so
that's awesome.
Hopefully it'll be special. Yeah.
Good. That'll be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool to see what you come up with on the channel. But I know you've been playing some games while you've been away, right?
Oh my God, I've been playing so many games, dude. Oh God, there's been so many games that came out in the past 2 weeks, at least on the eShop. I've been having so much fun with like Axiom Verge, Golf Story. I mean, have you dipped? I know you played Golf Story, right? How do you like that?
I like it a lot. I like Golf Story a lot. Like that's the game I usually will play if I have a little bit of time on the Switch, like between whatever I'm doing. If I sit down, I'm like, I can get a little bit of Golf Story in before I have to put it back down. And that's usually what I do. I'll jump in and do that.
Nice.
But so you're right. So much stuff has come out. Have you not played Axiom Verge before?
I dabbled in it a little bit on the PS4 when it came out, but I didn't have enough time to really get into it. So now it's out on the Switch, and I'm definitely gonna complete it. I'm a completionist when it comes to Metroidvania games. So it's
usually those kind of games are a lot easier to play when they're like portable, like it's a handheld game.
Yeah,
I think that it works a lot better that way. I mean, Axiom Verge works on pretty much. It's been out on the computer for a long time, and there's other systems as well. But it's very, very easy to play on a computer. So if you don't have any system and you have like a work computer to use for school, you could still download and play it. But it's Metroid essentially. That's what it is.
But the cool thing about that game is it was actually made by one guy over the course of 5 years, which is amazing.
Many games are showing up there. Like Stardew Valley was made by one person.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, the amount of love and passion that must take, because like it's hard running a YouTube channel with just one guy, let alone like creating a whole like game, doing the whole thing by yourself.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Did you try Stardew Valley?
Yeah, I've played it a little bit. I played it a lot more on PC when it came out. And so it's a little bit like, I don't know, older for me, but I still love it. I really love the Switch version. It's cool having it on the go and being able to check in every single day. Like that's one of my favorite aspects of that game. Okay,
very good. Very good. Hey, he called in the chat right now, Sean, RGT85.
What's up, Sean? How you doing, man?
I just saw him pop up in the chat. We had some talking on Twitter a bit now, so a lot of stuff's been happening in the week, so I see Sean occasionally pop in on some of those Twitter feeds.
Nice.
So dude, so much stuff has been coming out, like just in general. I still need to get a Hat in Time. I still need to try that out. I have not got to that point yet. But everything, I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, of course, just trying it on the Switch, see how it plays and everything, which it's played pretty well. But Philip, you actually got FIFA, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been playing FIFA a lot. A lot of FIFA, even after my review. Usually, nowadays it's really hard for me to stay consistent with a game because there's so many games coming out. I have to move on to the next one.
Yeah, that's our problem. We when you're doing this kind of stuff, whether it's like gaming stuff on YouTube or whatever jobs you have that's in the gaming industry, most people know, man, you got to move on quick. You have this much time with a game, and then you're on to the next one.
Exactly. It's just always changing. But FIFA is awesome. Like I love being able to just pop that in, go into kickoff mode, and just play a quick game if I want to. It's really, really nice to have that pick up and play experience with a sports game in particular if you just want to have a quick match. So
okay, it's missing. I've covered this a good bit. It's missing the friend invite system, right?
That's a huge issue right now. Yeah, I'm really kind of disappointed in EA for at least not incorporating some sort of a lobby system, but I understand that that's definitely Nintendo's.
It's weird, right?
Yeah. It's kind of a mixture of both. Like Nintendo needs to figure out their online infrastructure quickly, because I have a feeling that it's preventing a lot of third parties from jumping into the Switch. Because most games, as we know, have a lot of online, activity going on. You either have to be connected or you don't have the full experience if you're not connected online, even with Splatoon. So I just think that once that gets squared away, we'll start seeing more online based games, maybe even something like The Division or something like that to come down along the line.
Yeah. It's weird because I'm telling you, that phone app has to really get in people's way, mostly the third-party developers, because they look at the system and they go, we might have to make it work with that phone system. And I think right now Nintendo has that system closed off completely because it's what Splatoon is the only thing that uses it right now.
Yeah, it's just exclusive to Splatoon. It might as well just be a Splatoon app. But at the same time, it's still in beta. It's not the final thing. So we don't know what the final app is going to look like, what sort of functionality there is going to be. And because it's an app, it's going to be constantly updated. So
yeah, they already fixed some of it. You can navigate away from the screen now. You can turn your display off and it all still works.
Yeah, that's a lot more convenient.
They have made some really, I guess, some progress with it, but it's still on your phone, which is the thing a lot of people don't like, obviously, is that it's not on your Switch. But I know what Evan's been playing this whole time. You might as well say it, Evan. Go ahead.
Which one? Because I've mostly been playing Fortnite because it is the grindiest of grindy games. But I started picking up a little bit of the Battle Chaser stuff because my buddy gave it to me.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what Evan's plan was. He wanted to play Battle Chasers, right, Evan?
Yep.
Something. Yeah. He wanted to play Battle Chasers to give people an idea of what it is and how it's going to play, because it is coming to the Switch as well. It's already out on the PC and everything, but it's coming to Switch as well. And Evan wanted to play through it and just give everybody an idea of how it plays and what it is, because a lot of these games showing up on the Switch it's getting like every indie game. It's crazy. Like the Switch is getting so many indie games, because I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with this. Indie games on the Switch are ridiculous. They are selling so much right now. Who you call Axiom Verge? They put out a tweet that said that it's selling the best on the eShop out of everything. So it's the Switch is like the indie machine.
It is, and that's a good thing and a bad thing, I think, because for the most part, it's great to see so much indie support coming to the Switch, but at the same time, I think a lot of people are beginning to get a little discouraged by the lack of first-party titles showing up. It's always nice to get these indie titles, but we do need to start seeing a lot more bigger, more substantial, I guess, games that people are expecting. Otherwise, I have a feeling that excitement about the Switch is going to start slowly dwindling away.
So you're thinking like you're talking about like the Wolfenstein, like that kind of like that kind of echelon of games, not as like Stardew Valley is a good game, but you're talking to like the big budget, the blockbuster that you go to the movies to see kind of thing. You're like a Wolfenstein or like a Destiny or something like that.
Right, because the promise of the Switch, I guess, was that it's a home console that you can take with you on the go, right? And we're seeing a lot of great games that do showcase that experience. However, we're also seeing the majority of the games coming out as indie games or games that could be running on a cell phone, essentially. So
sure.
we do want to see more powerful games running on Switch, I think.
I think it's because I think people really like I think Nintendo fans really like seeing some of these big AAA games go to the Switch and play on a system that shouldn't be playing it, because it's a handheld. Because the PS4 and the Xbox One and everything already play them, but if you take it with you on the go, that's massively different than what Nintendo was dealing with the Wii U, where there was no real difference other than it just doesn't play as well. Black Ops 2 barely played on the Wii U. It had so many issues, but like if they put Black Ops 2 on the Switch and it played well enough, people would buy it up like crazy because it's a portable version of it, even though it's the same version we played on the 360 or PS3.
Right, exactly. And I think that I'm speaking for myself, but I think you would agree with me, like that games like that have pixel graphics or older school looking games, those games appeal to me just because I grew up playing those games. So I enjoy those smaller indie titles coming to Switch. However, like just from looking at my comments, people in my comments on my videos, whenever I talk about indie games, I can see a big dichotomy where there are a lot of people that are just disappointed. Oh, great, more mobile games coming to Switch. Oh, great, more like indie style games coming to Switch. But then there are those other people that are like really excited about games like Golf Story and Stardew Valley. However, there is still that other audience that wants more out of the system. And I think that's fair. Honestly, I do.
Well, you should. That's the thing. People should demand more from the system that they like, because if you like the system enough, you should want to see all the games you can on it. So you should be like, wanting the next big thing on the Switch rather than you should never settle, essentially, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
When I first got the 360, when it really first came out, I was all about, what's coming out, what's going to happen, what are they going to bring back, what are they going to bring up from the Xbox? When's Halo 3 coming out? I was basically all over the place for it, and that's what you should be with the Switch. You should be all about getting games to the system, third party, new games, new IPs, anything. So. Absolutely. Evan, tell me about Night Chasers though.
Battle Chasers. I mean,
yeah, sorry, I'm all over the place. Battle Chasers.
I've only been able to play it a little bit. I was going to stream it tonight, but because I completely forgot it was Saturday. But it's actually pretty good. It's sort of like a semi-controlled RPG. I mean, the overworld map doesn't let you really go that many places. It's more like a board game. You have to kind of move around and then deal with battles and some slight tile sets. As far as I can tell, it has some pretty cool character interaction. Certain debuffs will trigger other abilities. But again, I'm pretty much, I think, only at like level 2 or 3. My one buddy has been clearing dungeons. Like, he's been playing it so much.
Okay. It's how much is it on Steam?
God, I think it was like, I can't even remember now. Like, I think it was only about so 30.
It was 30 bucks. Yes, I think it was supposed to be 40, I think, on the Switch. I think is what I'm thinking. I think it was like
I thought that's what I heard,
more.
yeah, because people were wondering why it was going to be $10 more.
Yeah, I mean, it's built on Unity. There's probably some extra development cost that goes to the Switch, but I mean, we see games that don't need that extra cost that go to the Switch. So maybe I guess just dependent on the situation. How much money does that development team have where they can, eat the cost of that? Maybe some just can't.
Maybe. I mean, it'd probably be easy to compare considering like you guys are starting to get like games that PCs had forever. So maybe like how much is Oxenfree on the Switch right now?
That's a good question.
I think that's $14.99 or something like that.
That's cheaper than what it's currently at on PC.
Wow, really? Is it $20 on PC?
$20.
Wow. Yeah, because it was a big deal when I saw Stardew Valley was only $15.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked when I saw that. I was like, wow, they could have got $20 for that on eShop, but they didn't try to gouge it. I got to give them that.
Yes, that's kind of weird.
Correction, sorry, it's $20 on the eShop. Okay. Yeah. So,
but it's not any more expensive, essentially.
Right. It doesn't have that premium pricing.
Same price. That's not bad. I'm okay with that. Really, it should be the same price. Like I said, it seems dependent on their situation. But a game like Stardew Valley at $15 is an absolute steal. Like, it's ridiculous. That is worth more than that for how much time you'll get out of it.
Oh yeah, people have sunk hundreds of hours into that. I've sunk at least 100 hours into that game. So, and
they're dumping a bunch of free DLC into it. It's barely called downloadable content. I guess you just call it just content they release to you because it's not charged. But
there's the online thing coming too, right? Yes. Early next year, there's going to be co-op mode.
Co-op, yeah. The Switch and the PC I think are going to get it alongside each other around the same time.
That's going to be awesome.
They keep saying. We'll see how it happens. I know a lot of these scheduling things keep getting pushed back for one or the other. It's kind of weird. Yep.
There seems to be this thing with Nintendo where you have to make sure the game is like just right. And then according to what I saw there and some other people I've talked to, is I've actually started getting replies back from some developers that are working on the Switch right now, which is kind of cool. But it sounds like Nintendo is very strict about where things go in the calendar. So, which is interesting because Stardew Valley and Axiom Verge released on the same day. But they both sold well. So I guess they're kind of different games though, really. So I guess it's not a big deal. Like Golf Story and Stardew Valley were spaced out by like a week or so. So
it probably has more to do with like total prices. Like if they release about $60 worth of great games in a single day, they'll probably be completely fine with that. But try to keep like the AAA titles that are around the 50s or 60s on their own.
Is Oxenfree good? I haven't even checked that out.
Oxenfree is a legitimate game. It's really pretty quick, although it has New Game Plus now. I have to go back and play it because it sounds like they expanded it since the first time I played it. I picked it up day one. It was an amazing game. Like, if you like that Stranger Things kind of vibe or like those classic pseudo horror type movies, that's the game. Like, it's really good.
I do like New Game Plus. That's good. That'll be cool. I might check that out. There's just the problem is, man, so many games just like I think it was 18 games dropped on the Switch last week or something crazy. So I was just like scrambling. I was like, my gosh. Then I have to worry about, like I said, Hat in Time over here. Cuphead came out, which I just can't put that game down. It's so much fun. So I'm all over the place. And then the release calendar starts getting it starts really picking up here, especially with the Switch and then some other systems as well. I know Shadow of War comes out, I believe, Tuesday. And then later on, we get to Fire Emblem Warriors. Then we get Super Mario Odyssey. Then LA Noire gets its re-release, and it's like hard hitting. It's all over the place. So it's going to be very interesting when we get towards the end of the month.
Are you planning on playing Shadow of War?
I'll probably go buy it. WB didn't send it to me.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna force me to play it.
I heard it was really good.
I would like to try it. I'm not sure why they didn't send it to me. They just sent it to a couple people, and we all kind of had something in common. We weren't the nicest to their some of their microtransaction stuff and their donation situations.
I see.
So I wrote it off for that. I mean, they were nice enough to send out Lego Worlds and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a whole different division that worked with Shadow of War. They were pretty strict with who got what. I think Max got a copy though because I think he's reviewing it.
Oh, really?
I think he was talking about it on Twitter. So we'll see. I'll check out his and decide how good it is. I guess I wanted to play it more on stream just to try it out and put it out there a video for people so they can see if it's worth it.
I heard it's been getting like 9s and like I don't know A's and just really great scores. So if you're interested in it, I think it's a pretty good game. I mean, I like the first one. So yeah.
Oh, the first one was awesome. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. The Nemesis system is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they built on that, but they did add those pesky loot boxes that seem to be taking over everything now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in every game almost. Everything with gear.
And it's weird. It's hard to say how I feel about that because there are times where I'm like, this is fine. But then there are times where I look at it and I go, this game was $60 and there's loot boxes that give people advantages.
Yeah.
So you can spend more money to skip the game. That's the weirdest concept because you spend money to skip parts of the game, right?
Right.
It's weird. And then people make some really fun comparisons where they say, remember when loot boxes, well, not even loot boxes, I guess, but like parts of skipping the game were just cheat codes.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd enter the debug menu in Sonic or stuff like that, level skip and level select and everything.
It's like in Destiny 2, right? Like you can get up to like level 20 now and just go buy your legendary armor that you need, right? So
yeah. I mean, I guess it's the point now where you just put some money in and you get a loot box and then cross your fingers and hope. It seemed like at Shadow of War though, you get like orcs and stuff with those loot boxes. That's how you get them. So you can either spend the money and not leave the tower to go fight, orcs and find them, or or you actually do that. So it's odd. Oh, and then Sonic Force is November 7th. Thank you for reminding me on that one. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that plays. Because I'm so in the middle ground with Sonic Forces. Like, I mean, I did play it at E3, but like not the full. I don't know.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. I played it or not? Was it at E3? Yeah, it was at E3 this past year. But I didn't get to play the whole demo. I kind of got like chased away after only 5 minutes. So I don't know. Like, I mean, my impressions weren't enough, I think, for me to actually have a solid opinion about the game yet. But just, from what I've seen of trailers and stuff, it looks interesting. I like the whole character customization aspect of it, but I don't know. I'm so worried about that game.
You know what I did? I did play some Mario Odyssey though. I did. I got a chance to play it. Yeah.
I heard you played at Walmart, right?
I did. I went to Walmart and waited behind some people like in line to play it because it was definitely new when I first saw it. Like I wasn't there the day before and then it shows up the next day. So people were like hanging out around it, and then there was a Walmart employee who was reading from a packet or a pamphlet to tell everybody what it was, kind of, as they walked up to it.
So you played with the grip, right?
I played with the two Joy-Cons were in the grip. Yes, that's how I put it. They also had basically you could pick one. You could either do that or you could do the split Joy-Cons.
Right. Yeah.
And I just did the grip because apparently the split Joy-Cons you can easily, I guess, like make the hat rotate and stuff when you throw it.
Yeah. When I played it, I was playing with split Joy-Con, and then you could use your right hand to just kind of like spin around, I guess, and then that'll make the hat go and hit enemies. You can kind of guide the hat with the way in which way you throw the Joy-Con, which is a lot of fun. So it works really well. What's up, Sean? How you doing?
Yo,
we got him.
Yeah, Sean's in. I saw him in the chat, and I was like, I wonder if Sean wants to jump in.
Yeah, I don't do anything. I just hang out.
I saw him typing up a bunch in the chat, and I was like, "Oh, let's see if Sean wants to jump in here." How's it going, Sean?
Good. Just finishing editing something, and then I have to stockpile videos because I'm going out of town for like a week, and I don't want to not have anything. So
cool. Where are you going? Anywhere fun?
I'm doing a family/con thing all in one. Most of my family lives in Connecticut, and Retro World Expo is in Connecticut next weekend. And so I'm going up on Thursday, and then Saturday I'm going to do the con, and then spend the rest of the time with my family, and then come home middle of the week after that. So going to be a busy week, but it'll be good.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, I saw there was like a retro convention down in Texas, I think, was it?
Yeah, Retropalooza. That's pretty much where like all my people that I talk to every day are at. But I couldn't, because I still have a day job, so I couldn't be like, hey, I'm not gonna be here for like 2.5 weeks. Sorry. So they're running 3 of those now. That's put on by Jay from the Game Chasers. That whole convention is done by him. Yeah, it's his convention. So I know next year they're doing 3 in Texas, so I'm definitely going to go to at least one of them next year for sure.
They got to come out further east, man.
Yeah, like they've been doing so well in Texas. I think they should try, and I guess because they all live there,
yeah, it's easier. Yeah,
it's a lot easier for them. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool though. Yeah, I really only go to too many games. I don't really go to any other conventions.
I'm gonna try to fix that, man.
Yeah, I need to start getting out to more.
Yeah, they're fun.
I feel like retro conventions are just getting bigger and bigger every year. They're getting more and more popular, which is awesome to see that resurgence coming back.
Too many games used to be like super small, and now it's like actually large. So I need to start going to more. Maybe like I was on the fence about New York Comic Con, but maybe I'll go to what's PAX East, Evan? Is that the next one? We
definitely have to hit PAX East. We definitely have to make plans for that.
I hear, Jason from Nintendo Enthusiasts usually goes to PAX East, and he says it's great. Like it's sort of like E3 without the stuffiness and without a lot of the bogus pseudo PR and all that crap. It's very down to earth, very chill atmosphere, and good parties and stuff, and you can really talk to developers and whatnot. They're not being flooded all the time. So
good. Yeah, E3 is probably like flood all the time with people.
I've never been. Like I could always go with the site, but like to me, I have no interest in it just because like I feel like I get a better experience of E3 literally just sitting home, like watching everything. Like, yeah,
I hear that a lot. Yeah.
You
don't get to play it, but you're not standing in line for like 3 hours and like all these crowds and stuff. I'd be shanking people. Like, get out of my way.
I always said if I want to do E3, I want to be like, I guess not the regular access, but like I guess the access above
the
that.
Tier 2 VIP,
yeah. So you're not like on the floor with everybody else. I think the problem was they opened it up to fans. While it was good for fans, it seemed to, like Philip even said, it congested everything.
Oh yeah, sure it felt like a crazy concert or like Warped Tour or something like that. Just tons of people, everyone's sweaty, everyone stinks. I'm just
yeah, no, I mean that's kind of how it is when everybody gets jammed into like not a small room, but when you have that many people in there, it gets hot. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh man. Oh yeah. Would you play anything good this week, Sean?
What did I've been playing Panzer Dragoon Saga. Actually.
Yeah, I figured you would.
I've been thoroughly enjoying that. It's such a unique game, and considering it came out on the Saturn, like it's so unlike any other Saturn RPG. I think it would have if it wasn't made by Sega, I think it still would have been great if it came out on the PS1. But I think just the fact that it came out on the Saturn, it just makes it like so interesting and so unique. So I've been playing a lot of that. I'm still playing a lot of NBA 2K18. I'm very addicted to that on my Switch, and nothing else really. Just little things here and there. Fortnite. I've been playing a little bit of Fortnite. Just the
ask Evan about that one.
Just the multiplayer stuff on the Xbox.
Yeah, try not to go single player. It basically, if you know gaming psychology and how like these studios try to get you to keep playing their game, every single possible hamster wheel of loot and progression, it's all in one place. It is super addicting. You will forget what time it is, and I've been losing so many days.
You're losing days because you're addicted to like the I guess the just the circle of getting loot.
It's always like, oh, I need to get these people, I need to get this type of XP to up my schematics, I need to go get these mats to build the weapon that I just leveled, I need to get this hero, and it's just non-stop.
It's just constant, huh? Wow. That's I mean that's what they want you to do, because you can you buy like loot boxes in it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why they want you to do. That's why. That's understandable. So
I pay with real money.
Yeah. Hey, I should ask this, Philip. Did you get a Super Nintendo Classic?
I did not. No,
Really?
I do not have an SNES Classic, unfortunately. I missed excuse me, I missed out on the pre-orders completely. So unfortunately I wasn't able to get one because they went live at a weird time, right?
Well, did you just try to go into a store and get one?
I did. I called the night before. I called GameStop, I called Best Buy, and everyone was like, "You're insane. You should have been here this morning, the day before it came, to wait in line or whatever." Because here in San Diego, a lot of people were basically just like camping out in front of storefronts and stuff. So there was really no chance for me. I went.
I'll say you guys didn't have like a Target there, did you?
Well, there's a Target close by, but it's all sold out. Why?
I went to my Target and they had got like 110 of them.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I walked in and they had like 30 of them in a cart, and they literally just walked up and they were like, "Do you want this?" So just took it and went to the register.
Oh man, you lucked out. My area.
So
was,
I got it
sold
pretty easily. It was not even difficult. Like I just walked up. I was honestly shocked. Like
That's
they
crazy.
sold through the line and they still had like 30 left.
Wow. Have you heard about what's been going on with Amazon and their pre-orders for the SNES Classic?
Oh, this is bad. This is weird. This is so strange because I know I saw Rob on Twitter get one because a pop-up truck showed up, one of those Amazon mystery trucks.
Yeah.
It's very odd that these pop-up trucks have Super Nintendo Classics, but then they don't heavily delay the people who actually pre-ordered.
Yeah, there are people out there who still haven't gotten their pre-orders yet.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that they're selling them out of a back of a moving truck.
But they delayed people who had already given them money and pre-ordered it, and then they sell them to random people on the street. It's so weird. I don't know why that's the case. But Sean, have you been playing yours more?
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. Just I have a lot of the games already on cartridge, but it's nice to play them all on one little nice device, and the controllers feel good. Yeah, it's a cool little system. I enjoy it.
Dude, the controllers are really good. Like I was shocked when I opened it up. I was like, wow, this is as close to an actual Super Nintendo controller as you can get.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the plastic feels a little off, but the actual button press feels.
Well, there's probably there's no
good.
there's no lead in it anymore. So
Well, yeah,
it's not the 90s.
but you got to get that smooth lead finish.
If I want lead items, I go to Harbor Freight. That's oh man, I saw that people are already modding the Super Nintendo Classic. 0 point in modding this because it's the same as the Nintendo Classic. So if you've already modded your Nintendo Classic, I don't really. You can even use the same controllers with it on the Super Nintendo Classic. Controllers work with the Nintendo Classic. So I don't really. I guess pick one or the other to mod. I don't really know why you mod both. I guess maybe you like the way this one looks, but the boards actually fit. They're the same exact boards. They fit in each casing. So I
don't think I'm gonna mod mine because I have my NES Classic modded. So what's the point?
Honestly, the collection of games on there is already really good.
Oh yeah.
Like I was honestly surprised. I mean, they're missing Chrono Trigger, and that's a big hole, obviously. But they have some good stuff on there. Very good stuff on there. So
how do you guys feel about Star Fox 2? Do you feel like it was a smart idea for Nintendo to put that out finally?
Yeah, because it was an easy way to sell the Super Nintendo Classic more than they already would. The thing was going to sell anyway, but then it has a game that's never come out. Which, by the way, according to a lot of people, it's like what was it like? Did you see this on Twitter, Sean? It was like the 18th or 19th Nintendo first party game or something that reached 1 million copies sold
for the Super
Nintendo. Yeah, I thought that was really funny because they actually updated sales chart numbers for a Super Nintendo game.
That's awesome.
Charts. Just hilarious. Yeah, I think so. Did it age well? Not really. I mean, it's still a fun game. It's a cool piece of history. But I do understand why some places that maybe, I guess, compared it, like IGN didn't give it the best score. What was another place that didn't give it a great score? There was one that gave it a really bad score. Like I think IGN was more fair. That was in like the 7 or 7.5. But there was a place that gave it like
IGN gave it a 5.
Yeah.
Oh really? Oh okay. It was them who gave it 5. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's Destructo that gave it a 7. Yeah. So there are places that obviously maybe the people reviewing it never really played a Super Nintendo or didn't really know what to compare it to. So.
I think it's just a cool piece of history that we all finally got a chance to experience. If you got an SNES Classic. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to experience it, but you guys did. So
yeah, Sean got his sent for free. So there you go.
That's true.
How's that feel, Phil?
Feels great.
Yeah, actually, you know what's really funny, Phil? If I had managed to send you a message, they had no problem selling multiples of that thing to people at Target.
Oh, really? Were they selling more than one?
The guy
per
in front of me was
customer?
buying 2, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'll get it eventually. I know that
they're
Nintendo's gonna
restocking.
yeah, they're gonna restock it. So
Yeah, they've already said that they are working to restock it. I think they're actually making money on this one. I think that's mostly why. As opposed to the NES Classic, I don't think they made much of anything on it. So there's that. Yeah, do you guys want to talk about it? Some interesting pieces of news that happened throughout the week?
absolutely, yes.
That's why I show up.
Yeah, that's why I show up, Evan. Okay, yeah. So we talked about FIFA a little bit, Sean, before you came on. You also said that NBA, since I know you got NBA as well, because you bought it from the Japanese eShop. You wanted to get it like early.
Yes, I did.
There is no way to invite a friend in that one either, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so there's no way to invite friends from that or FIFA at this point.
The developer, though, for that has been a little more clear that they're trying, as opposed to just being like pie in the sky. Hopefully it happens.
Well, it's hilarious. EA just pretends like Eurogamer asked them a question about that, and they just pretend like they weren't asked a question. Like they talk about something else with FIFA at all, like nothing about the problem. I think their response was, if you want to play with friends, just get in the same room with them.
Yeah, just get some. Have some friends.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, okay. It's odd though, because it seems like is it just me? Is it just sports games that are doing that? Because I feel like Xenoverse 2, you can invite friends.
Yeah, you can. Because I know OJ was tweeting at EA. He's like, I can do it in this. Why can't I do it in this?
So it's a little odd that it's just the sports games. I don't really know why that is. I don't know if it's something that Nintendo is working with them on, or it's just an issue they're having. I don't know. It's very weird though. I don't know if a patch is going to solve it or if they're waiting for Nintendo. I almost thought they were waiting for Nintendo to release their updated online system, because we keep hearing about this happening, but it's going to be like the games might not even be relevant by the time this online service comes out next year.
Right.
So who knows at that point, but it's very interesting. I mean, do you feel like that hurts the game real bad, Sean, with the NBA?
I wouldn't say real bad. It does kind of suck because I want to play with like some of the people I talk to on Twitter and my viewers and stuff. But I mean, you know, the online itself, besides that, works very well, which is actually kind of surprising to me. Like I've played over 40 or 50 games, and like I don't have issues with lag or anything. There is one big issue that is across the board on actually all platforms. Is what they did was so in previous NBA 2K games, when you match up with someone, you pick your team or whatever, and you could see what your other person is going to pick. So like if you're using like a low, tier scrub team, and like this guy uses like a high tier team, you could just back out, no big deal. But in this, if you back out when the person is selecting their team, because you select your team before you get into the online match, if you back out when you get matched up with someone, it counts as a loss. Not a huge deal. I'll go up against pretty much any team. But the problem is that they allow you to pick from all-time teams. So like someone could pick like the all-time Bulls team or the all-time Lakers team, and it's like Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, and like James Worthy. And you're like, I'm playing with the Charlotte Hornets. Why do I have to go up against this? Like, and there's no way if you back out, you get a loss. So I mean, that's a huge pain in the ass. And
that's before the match even starts.
Yes, and there's nothing you could do. If the only way you could get out is to turn off your system, and if you do that, you get a loss. And it's like that's not fair. Like I don't want to play against a super team.
That's weird that they didn't bracket it, because like normally in competitive games, when there's someone that's IMBA and someone that's not, like there will be like the casual bracket, and then there'll be like the serious bracket where you can only pick these. That's really awkward.
Yeah, it sucks. Like, thankfully, not to talk bad about Switch owners, but there's a lot of people that suck at NBA 2K18 on the Switch. So like that's great for me, but it's like if you get someone who knows what they're, semi doing, and they pick one of those teams, like you're screwed. It's a loss. There's nothing you can do about it. That's
interesting. It seems like, what's the next game? Oh, that's the other thing. I wonder if WWE's out soon, right? That's like the 21st or something. 17th, 21st,
17th, I think.
17th. There you go. Cool. Thanks. That I wonder if that, because that's 2K as well. I wonder if that'll have the same issue.
Well, that the Switch versions are coming out on the 17th.
There's yeah, that's what I was thinking. People are picking up. People are picking up like promotional material in GameStops and stuff, and it says the date on it for 17th with the Switch version. Which is interesting.
Yeah, I believe it's been delayed because 2K themselves, like a couple days ago, said somebody asked if it was coming out on the 17th, and they said no, it's coming out in the fall. So like,
the fall.
Yeah, I mean it will be delayed some. Is that a big deal to me personally? I mean, not really, because I'll just wait a month to buy it or whatever.
Am I thinking wrong? Was NBA originally also moved to fall, and then they ended up releasing it digitally on the same day, but the cart version is not out for a month? Am I thinking right, or was that never actually delayed in their part?
I actually don't think it was ever delayed. Okay. I think it was just the cart version it's still not out yet, actually. So.
No, yeah, it's I guess it's out in a few weeks.
Yeah,
but at this point, everyone's already bought it, right? I mean, you have to download it anyway if you get the cart version.
True.
So I guess, which is interesting.
I think as far as the whole online and friends system goes, like I think for the most part, Nintendo and these companies, these third parties, they get a pass this time around for a lot of people, I think, just because of the whole awe factor of having these awesome games on a portable console. But if we don't see the whole, friend system coming into play for the sequels for the next year, then I think that a lot of people have, are going to be pissed about it, in all honesty. I mean, I would be really upset if Nintendo figured out their online infrastructure and then all of a sudden, like, there still isn't support for these sports titles for whatever reason,
Well, I mean, and plus you'll be paying for Nintendo's new service. So yeah, that's unacceptable. If you're paying for something and you still can't get like basic ass features, no. Even if
it's $20, the fact that you have to hand over money for it is off-putting, obviously.
Right.
So, I mean, they can give you a game every month, but you're still like, I can't play with my friends, though. So,
right.
Which is, that's fun. Yeah. So we had Andrew House step down. Did you guys see that? Where he stepped down from Sony effective immediately, and he's a chairman now, and then he'll leave at the end of the year.
It's kind of a surprise, huh?
Yeah, I really didn't see that one coming, because he's doing really well with the PS4, obviously, because he was there. He was the one on stage that was, telling everybody the price and like laughing at Microsoft along with some of his, I guess executives. And he was the one who really took the PS4 and ran with it, because the PS3 didn't do nearly as well as Sony wanted it to. It was actually, I would still consider it a failure because how much it cost them to make it. But they do that. He does really well for the past 4 years, and now all of a sudden he wants to step down, which is odd. I really don't know why that's the case. I don't know if anyone has a theory on that one, but
I mean, scared of the Switch,
right? What's very interesting, though, he's the one that said that he's not really interested, along with Sony, in any kind of portable system, and now he's gone.
I've heard a lot of the rumors that maybe he's going over to a competitor. Maybe he's going to go join Nintendo or Microsoft. But in all honesty, I mean, how long was he with PlayStation? 20 years?
Since the PS1. He helped launch that with some other people in the background.
Right. So, I mean, the man, built an empire with Sony, and I really just can't imagine him like just totally defecting to the other side. I think that it makes a lot more sense that he would go out on top, because that's really when you want to leave a company, is when you've done the best. You don't want to leave a company when you're the responsible for bringing it down. You want to leave a company and when you're responsible for making it the best that it possibly can, because from here on out, Andrew House is going to be remembered as the guy who, did really well with Sony. Like he made the PS4 what it is or whatever.
Right. So
congratulations to him.
There's a good chance that he just saved up a ton of money and he's basically ready for early retirement, more than likely.
That's what I would do, honestly.
with how demanding, I'm sure that job's not easy. I have to imagine it's very difficult. You probably lose a lot of years off the end of your life from all the stress and everything. So he's probably like, you know what? Because he doesn't look like he's a young guy. He looks like he's kind of older, probably in his mid 50s, maybe.
So when we find out he's been in his early 30s, we're just like, yeah.
Oh gosh.
The video industry has aged me.
He's probably in his mid to late 50s, and he's probably like, I got enough money. I can retire now and spend the rest of the time with family and everything. More than likely, that's what's actually happening. And then they replace him with, I just had his name up, John Rodera, I think. his name up, but it's interesting because he was the one who helped form the PlayStation Network, and he's very into the online services. So we might see maybe some service-based software showing up. Maybe he actually builds something similar to what Microsoft has with their Games Pass, where it's not streamed, it's just straight up downloaded. So he may look into something like that where you get $10 a month and you get, so many games downloaded directly to it. I know they have PlayStation Now right now, but that's all streamed, and I've tried it. It's not very good. So that might be the way they go. It's just interesting that they lose somebody who's okay. Andrew House is 52. So that, again, if you are in the position he's in, which is you had a good run with a company, I'm sure his job was making him good money. He's probably ready to pack it in and move on and go fish every day or something. But
or just go play his PlayStation finally, now that he has time.
Yeah, right. He can actually play. He's like, maybe I'll actually try this thing out. He's like looking at a PS2.
Yeah.
So it could be good. I would probably do the same thing, to be honest. If I got to that point where I'm sure he has millions of dollars, let's be realistic here. I'd probably get to that point too and be like, yeah, I'll go right off into the sunset with all this money and hang out.
Right. Exactly. Just finish it off on a good note, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I would do. I should ask you this, Sean, before we start. Did you end up getting to Stardew Valley?
No, I haven't yet, but I know like everyone has it.
Okay, I didn't know if you had played it before or not.
I actually haven't.
Wow, really? Interesting. Okay, it's a good game. It is. If you enjoy kind of the Harvest Moon stuff, it's fun.
I have a very long. Yeah, I do enjoy that, and I have a very long train ride coming up when I go to Connecticut, so I'll probably snag it before I go.
It's $15. It's a good deal.
It's not bad.
It's a very good deal. Okay, so I have two fighting game fans on here. Wait, Philip, are you big into fighting games? I can't remember.
Not too big into them, but I like them.
Good. All right, cool. I'm sure, Sean, you saw this neuse because a press release went out to everyone. Street Fighter V is finally leaving its beta or early access phase.
Yeah.
The arcade edition is releasing in January. Free update to everyone who already has the game. And, of course, it is a paid $39.99 retail version for PC and PS4 users. Of course, this will add arcade mode, all the previous DLC with characters and everything. So this is very interesting. A lot of people talked about how they said they would never release another version, although this is free to current people, so it technically won't wall anyone off from playing against each other. But Evan had an interesting opinion about this the other day when he was telling me. And then I'm sure, Sean, you have your own opinion on it too.
I do.
Most because you're both fighting game people. So, Sean, why don't you kick us off here? Because I'm sure you want to say something about this.
I mean, at this point, it's like, why? Why? Like,
that game hasn't sold well.
No, it hasn't, and I don't think this is going to be the catalyst to make it sell well. You know what I'm saying? Like, for whatever reason, that game just did not do all that. Well, I mean, obviously there were certain reasons, but like you've already burned a majority of people who wanted, basic things that should be in a fighting game, and like this isn't going to make it all of a sudden magically better, in my opinion. It's something that should have been done in the first place, like, not eons later. Like, I don't know, it just seems very silly to me to be wasting time and effort doing this now. Some people say better late than never. I guess to some people that's true, but for me it's just like, no, you should have done, you had your chance. It took you how long to do this, and it's not going to help. I don't think it's going to necessarily.
No, you don't think it'll light a fire underneath the sales or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Did you play Street Fighter V when it came out? I assume you did because you're a Street Fighter person.
Yeah, I played it. I never bought it. I just played it over at a friend's house, and I remember being like, "Why is basic stuff missing?" And he was like, "I don't really know, man." And I was like, "Okay."
Did you ask him how much the game was when you got it?
Oh, I knew how much he paid, and I was like, yeah, not me.
Oh no, Evan, why don't you tell me about your thoughts here as another person who you played a lot of Street Fighter.
Well, I played a lot of Street Fighter 4, back when I even played Street Fighter
that on the PC.
And despite everyone hating that, I actually really liked that game. But yeah, Street Fighter 5. I mean, we talked about it a little bit, you and me, when we were painting that wall behind you. It was just the most ridiculous release ever to come out with like nothing, like we were saying anyway. I don't know. At this point in time with fighting games, I don't understand why Capcom decided to put all this hyper focus on this title as well as even putting slight focus on Marvel vs. Capcom while not even really funding it that well, and then still shunning all the other titles that you and me wish at all they would put out.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's so weird to see them kind of collapsing like this, but it's going to be great for, I guess, other companies to kind of take over that spot of number one in the fighting game scene and everything.
Yeah, but you bought Street Fighter 4 on your PC and it didn't work, right?
No, Street Fighter 5. Yeah, I bought it.
I'm sorry, yeah, 5. It was 5. Yeah,
yeah. It went on sale once, and I was like, let me check this thing out. And I think I got the refund for it put in within like 2 hours because it wouldn't let me play past the second round in any fight. It would just keep crashing.
Yeah, you said you had to refund it right away because it just wouldn't even work, which is interesting. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't the best game compatibility wise with computers based on how some of the other Capcom stuff went, but. That's interesting. It didn't even work. So I don't know. I'm not really seeing. I just don't see it doing super well. I think it's going to come out and it'll just kind of sit on shelves, and people already have it down for free and be like, "Oh, good, I got the game I wanted a year and a half ago."
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's going to spike. I don't think there's going to be enough people who are like, "Oh, finally, now we can all hop back on this boat." There's going to be so many people going, "I'll wait for this one coming up down the line from another company," because at this point, Capcom's just perpetually showing us they really don't care.
The real problem is they actually have some minor competition now with Dragon Ball Fighters that everybody's making a really big deal about right now. So they actually have somebody who, a game. What was that, Sean?
It's gonna get lost in the shuffle. There's so many damn games. Even if you are like a diehard Street Fighter fan and you have been waiting for this, there's so much other stuff coming out this holiday. It's just like, is that really gonna be a priority for anyone?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
And they took an extra risk with how they're releasing characters. I mean, you've noticed that none of the characters seem really as truly unique as the people on the massive roster from even 4.
Right.
So, like, every time I look at the roster list and I think, do I want to buy this game? I always look at the characters and go, which character do I want to master? Which character do I want to play? There's no one on that list at all. Like, there's no Gens or Gokens that I'm really interested in at this point. And it's just this small list of people who kind of have hybrid abilities similar to old characters, and then the old characters are also in it. So it feels a little like the latest Mortal Kombat, where they just have like their kids with their abilities.
Right.
So while we're on the topic of Capcom, we might as well stick with them for a second. You guys saw Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite has not done well, right?
Yeah.
Pitiful sales, pretty much. It fell off the sales chart after the first week. Second week, it's not even there. Problems all over the place. Well, there was an interesting video I watched from. Did you guys see this from Liam Robertson?
I haven't seen it yet, but I know a lot of people are saying that it was really well done.
Very interesting video. Very interesting video. So he did some investigative work, talked to some Capcom employees, and uncovered some rather troubling news, I guess, for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, to make it seem like it's a game that had such a cut down budget that it's insane that it even came out, and that it's like not even a finished game. All right, so he went down the list, pointing out some different things, like the finisher animations, where they have like their big move cut down drastically from Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in terms of production value. And then Liam talked about how the actual budget of the game for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is half of Street Fighter V's, wait for it, Street Fighter V's DLC.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. And they also went on to say that apparently most of the DLC characters you're seeing, including people like Black Panther and Monster Hunter, the Monster Hunter character, were finished and were originally supposed to go into the game, but they cut it out to then resell for DLC. So it came out with, I'm pretty confident looking at it, it was the smallest roster, I think, for Marvel vs. Capcom, if I'm thinking right. I think it was like 20 characters, if I'm correct. And then
terrible. I remember looking at that roster and I was like, what is this? Where is everyone?
How many were in Marvel vs. Capcom 2? Wasn't it like 60 characters, 60-something characters?
Yes.
They've always had so many, yeah.
So half the budget of the DLC for Street Fighter V went into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And apparently there were crunch times where they had to get most of it done in like a short period of time. All this stuff was going wrong in the background. Very interesting video, though. I would definitely check it out, Sean, when you get a chance. It was pretty cool to see.
I will.
Are there like balancing issues with the online as well? Like you can turn on auto combos and just go online or something like that?
Yeah, apparently at its core, the gameplay itself, like the fighting game mechanics, are apparently good from what other people who are really into fighting games have said. But there's so much stuff like around it that's damaging the game.
Yeah, the hyper focus on casual play.
Yeah, that seems to be a problem because apparently the core gameplay is good, but then you throw in everything else and it kind of turns into junk. So that's not good. Yeah, people are saying, see, I don't know. People are like, oh, one of the big companies should buy Capcom, and I don't know how well that would go over in the first place, because then you would keep all of their games on one system kind of thing. I don't know how good that'd be. Capcom's just fine with porting stuff all day. So it's actually kind of funny because that means that Pokken Tournament or Pokken Battle or whatever outsold the brand new game, and Pokken's a port of an old game. So it just like Capcom got beat down by a port, which is hilarious. Yes, I have heard about the Bandai Namco situation. That's actually coming up next.
I was about to say, at least Capcom isn't telling you to port bag, though.
Yeah. So this is hilarious. We might as well do this because this is going to be really funny. So Bandai Namco, they've done some things in the past with hoping to get free promotion. Essentially, they did it with Dragon Ball FighterZ. It was the first time we had seen them do it, so a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is really cool. Let's get this game over to the Switch," by retweeting it, by liking it, by going all over social media. And then all we heard was they heard you, and then it's been radio silence since then for a Switch version. Okay, so maybe they're doing that, and then they want us to do another. There was another game. Oh man, it just came out.
Project Cars 2.
Well, that's the third one. There was another one after that, and I'm trying to think of what it was called, which game it was. There's another game they asked us to do this exact same thing. Switch fans, go out and retweet and let your voice be heard. Essentially, run out into the pasture and start yelling about how you want this game because it'll bring awareness to our game. And then this is hilarious. Sword Art Online. Thank you. This is hilarious. The Project Cars 2 director, developer, head of the development or whatever shows up on, it was definitely an interview, right? Or was it a live stream interview? Either way, he basically says, go on our website, go on social media and tell them that you want Project Cars 2 on the Switch, which is really funny because I'm sure Sean is going to bring this point up because you actually did an interview with them about Project Cars 1, right? On the Wii U.
Yes, I did.
Notice that I said Wii U, despite there not being Project Cars on the Wii U.
Oh, but Andy Tudor assured me, I still remember his name. Andy Tudor assured me that the game looked great. I asked him, I said, can I have some Wii U specific, gameplay, a screenshot, anything, because this is the first time you guys have actually spoken about the Wii U version of the game, which it was the first time they had. And he was like, well, I don't really have anything to show you, but everything that you've been seeing is definitely indicative of what you will see on the Wii U. And, the game looks great. We just put in the rain effects and stuff. It looks great. And then you never heard anything else. And then all of a sudden, we can't get the game to run on the system. Darn, we're gonna have
it was delayed twice, I think, and then it was just outright canceled.
Yeah, because they couldn't get it running right. And I'm like, but wait, you told me it was running great. So like, what happened between then and now? Like, I honestly feel like that game never existed on the Wii U. I honestly, because you never saw a single piece of Wii U footage, and like that is just like, why? If you have the game, even if it's just a screenshot, and say the game runs like shit, okay, that's fine. If you have a screenshot of it, show the screenshot, give some people something to be excited about, and they never did that. So I don't know that game. I mean, and Project Cars was a decent game, but like them just this whole port begging thing. Actually, the video I just edited that I was finishing before I came on here was about port begging because like essentially, like if it's like an indie company, I sort of get it because you don't have money to do, research and development to see, what type of users are playing Switch games, what sort of games they're buying. I mean, you could look at sales figures or whatever, but like, you have a minuscule budget, shoestring budget. So if you make a tweet and you say, hey, if you're interested in this game coming to the system, like, let us know, like, that's fine. You're a small company, but even they aren't even doing that because they see all these other indie developers, Wonder Boy, Oceanhorn, SteamWorld Dig 2, Axiom Verge, they're all selling really well. So if you put a high quality indie game on the system, it'll sell. And that's why all these indie companies are coming over now. And it's like these third party companies, it's like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't have to port beg for NBA 2K18, WWE 2K18, Doom, Skyrim, Wolfenstein, LA Noire. Like, these are big companies, American companies that are bringing the games. You're a freaking Japanese company, Bandai Namco. You know the Switch is doing well. You see those damn lines of people with the raffle ticket trying to purchase the system just to give Nintendo money. Like, you're gonna ask? Get out! No.
Wait, you're saying that people are waiting in line for the Switch? I guess we'll have to see if the fans want it then.
Yeah, I mean, they're hoping just for a chance to get the system, but yeah, I don't think it'll be smart to put your game on there. It's like, come on, dude. Like, I understand a lot of developers were burned by the Wii U, and that's fine. And a lot of developers are going to be cautious. That's fine. I totally get that. I understand, although I feel EA and Activision got caught with their pants down, I do understand why they got caught with their pants down, because they got burned on the Wii U. That's fine. But like a company like Bandai Namco, it's like, shut your damn mouth. If either bring the game over or don't bring the game over. Don't try to get, free promotion and free publicity and make consumers be your marketing team, so that when somebody says, oh, I want Project Cars on the Nintendo Switch, and then somebody sees that tweet and they're like, oh, what's Project Cars 2? And they're like, oh, well, it's a game coming out for the PS4 and Xbox One. Oh, I own a PS4 and Xbox One. Let's look at this game. Do. And then you've just done marketing for them. It's like, come on, man.
I don't mind when the indie developers ask their Twitter followers, like,
exactly.
Hey, would you want this on the Switch? Because they're not saying, hey, go tell people that they should want this on the Switch. they literally ask. There's one thread where people are like, yeah, this will be really cool. They hit the like button and they move on. And then they got to tally it. Or sometimes they'll even run a poll. They're like, would you want this? And they can count everything up from there.
Right.
And I'm fine with that.
That's totally cool, because they're a small company,
Yeah, I'm fine with that completely. But like you said, when there's a Japanese company who is like, do you guys want this game on the hottest system in Japan right now? Is that what you want? It's like, wait a minute.
Sean, I think you're so right, dude. Like, it's just bad marketing. It's bad taste. It looks fine when a small company is like, do you guys want this? But it's so obvious that they're just trying to get retweets. They're just trying to get likes. They're just trying to spread the word about their current game. And it's just, it makes them look bad in the end, because people see through that, I think, pretty quickly, so.
Well, and
go, Sean.
Well, the thing of it is, like, say you are, because really port begging really was a consumer thing at first. Like, and it was more of a natural thing. It was like, and I hate to say it, but it was something a lot of Wii U owners did, because the Wii U got crap in terms of third-party games after the first year. So a lot of Wii U owners were, we would love this game on the Wii U, blah, 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 blah. It was a very natural thing. It was a very grassroots thing. Bayonetta 2, a lot of PlayStation and Microsoft owners, they wanted that game. Very natural. But just to have these corporate companies doing this, it's just like, and what you're doing is you're essentially dangling a carrot in front of someone and saying, all right, jump, and maybe you'll get this carrot. So what if, a bunch of people do your job for you and do all the marketing and say, yes, we want the game to come, and then the game doesn't come? You think those people are going to be happy with you? And they're like, oh, Bandai Namco, I want to buy their next game. They're so awesome, even though I totally wasted my time, promoting their game for them for free. It's like, come on, dude.
Here's the thing that Switch owners should realize at this point. The Wii U was not a very sought after system for most. Usually people bought it for Nintendo games. That was it. But the Switch is different. The Switch, again, people need to realize the Switch is like, at this point, the prettiest girl at the dance with all guys being developers right now. So you don't have to go out and try to get these developers on board. You don't have to go on social media and work, because they're going to get to a point where it's going to go on the Switch by default, because there are so many Switches out there. And the sales forecast that it has now, companies are going to figure out how to bend over backwards to get their game on the Switch, or they're going to lose money essentially. You see, Sean, you point this out a lot on Twitter. I see this a lot. I don't want to get to that point, because I'm buying an Xbox One X, so I don't want to feel like an idiot on camera when I get it. But the Xbox has not done well in terms of attach rate. We've seen it doesn't sell a ton, and you bring it up. I've seen you bring it up on Twitter where you're saying, why are they bringing these games to the Xbox when they're just not selling at all? And
Right.
like, why not just bring it to the Switch and actually get copies, because things are selling on the Switch.
Whatever happened to like voting with your wallet, you know, like the system is flying off of the shelves, right? So it's like exactly what you were saying, Sean, you know, these companies need to be looking at that and not manipulating their consumers, essentially their fans, into doing their marketing for them. I mean, that's exactly what's happening.
And what makes it weird is like it if you look at it, it's like the Japanese companies, because like Capcom, you know, they haven't been doing a great job. There's definitely games that probably should have, you know, Marvel's Capcom Infinite probably should have came.
Yeah, they laughed that off, by the way, in one of their interviews from a while ago.
And it's like you're a Japanese company. Like you're Ultra Street Fighter 2. While I loved it because I was wearing these really thick nostalgia glasses and I still play it way too much. That game was not all that great for, you know, new people just getting into fighting games or a casual fighting fan. Yet you sold a hell of a lot of copies of that.
I think they sold over 500,000, right?
They sold over 500,000. It's like you should not have sold over 500,000 for this $40 game. And like, it just baffles me that all of a sudden the Japanese companies are the ones that are, you know, doing the stuff that usually you would see the Western companies do. And the Western companies are like, Doom, Skyrim, 2K games, Rockstar, here's stuff for everyone. And it's like, when did this reverse? Like,
right.
Bizarre.
You know, if Rockstar's on board, most companies should be on board with their history with Nintendo not being the best recently.
Yeah, like... And the Western developers, I've always said this: Western developers go where money is to be made. If there's a calculator that just came out and everyone wants the calculator, and there's tons of hype around the calculator, and the calculator plays games, they will put games on that.
Bethesda will figure out a way to sell you Skyrim.
They will put Skyrim on that calculator, and it's like, okay, these companies are going to the platform because there's money to be made. Why do you not want money? Like, that's very, very strange. Just, I don't know.
It is odd that they want people to ask for it. The thing is, they're bluffing, and you just call their bluff and just be like, no, that's okay. We if you don't want to be on the system, you don't have to be. There's a lot of other developers who are going to want to show up soon, so that's okay. I mean, we see it now. A lot of games from the PC are just showing up, indie games, but they're still showing up. So apparently, it's very easy to move from the PC to the Switch, from what I'm hearing. So,
well, I mean, it's like every freaking day there's another indie game or another, you know, just game in general being announced for the Switch. Like
a lot of indie games. I mean, it's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, but it's a massive contrast to what we saw with the Wii U at this point.
And they're not crappy indie games too. Not to say that all the Wii U indie games are crappy, but there was a lot of crappy ones.
Yeah. People I saw someone in the chat saying that the Wii U gamers just didn't get the Wii U. I actually have to say that Nintendo just did not do a good job marketing the Wii U.
The amount of people we had swing through who was like, it's just a tablet, right? Not like a system.
Yes.
No one knew
when we were in
what the hell they were
retail
buying.
After they showed it off, like
people thought it was a controller you were supposed to buy to go with the regular Wii, that it was the U and you would have a Wii as well.
Yeah, they were like, "Why is this $300? It's just the tablet, right? Is it an iPad?" That's seriously stuff they would ask us, and we're like, "No, it's a whole system." Because remember when they first showed it, they didn't even show us the actual console; they just showed us the tablet. So we didn't know what it was. We had to go online to look up pictures that somebody, whether it was GameSpot or IGN or somebody, actually took pictures at the event of the console that was like behind glass or whatever. So it's very weird. Marketing on the Switch is seriously exponentially better.
Yeah,
like so much better. We see like they're pulling in like internet memes like John Cena to market the thing.
I wonder what the John Cena thing, why he was at Nintendo recently.
I like to think it has to do with the wrestling game coming out. But I mean, who knows? They used them before for just no real stuff. Like just promo. Yeah. So maybe he did such a good job. They're like, oh, let's bring him back in again because he fits exactly what Nintendo wants, which is a clean shaven good guy. You know, that's what he fits it. Yeah. And they're like, well, if he likes the Switch and he shows that he likes it, then all the gamers will like it too. So I mean, it's kind of marketing, you know, like they would pull.
They've done, you know, there's been a lot of inadvertent marketing. Like that whole Bleacher Report thing with where they shared a tweet of the kid playing 2K18 at his college class on the Switch, And like you looked at the comments of that, and like so many people were like, "What the hell is that? I need to get
they
this."
They have the soccer teams or football teams over in Europe, like everyone on the bus playing Mario Kart kind of thing.
Yeah, and that
I saw that.
rapper Extension, who I can't stand, but like he was at the BET Awards and he had his Switch in his hand, like on the red carpet, and people were like, "What?" And he's just like, "Yeah, it's my Switch."
Yeah, I'm playing my Switch.
Yeah.
It's definitely easy to market. I will say that one of the easiest things I've ever seen to market. Mostly because it's not two pieces like a Wii U was. And it's probably more affordable for them to develop, and it'll probably be more affordable to create going forward as well. So they'll actually be able to do probably either a price cut like way down the line, like years down the line, or hopefully more storage by next year, like a 128 gig or something next year, but we'll see. Okay, so we also got, did you guys get the email from Nintendo? This was something I wanted to bring up at some point as well, but we might as well bring it up here. Did you guys get the email from Nintendo asking what would you change about, like it was a survey they sent out asking what you would change about the Nintendo Switch? Like what would you would fix?
I did not.
I actually didn't get that, yeah.
Yeah, it showed up in one of my promotional tab things I have at Gmail, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll come up with something. So I'll pose this question to you guys. What would you change about the Switch if you could to make it better?
The online.
Yeah. It's the online.
Yeah.
It's like a hands down thing at this point. I mean, what else are we going to talk about? Enhance some of the hardware or something?
D-pad, analog triggers.
I mean, the buttons feel a little wonky, but I could deal with wonky buttons if I have a proper online experience.
Analog triggers, though?
Yeah. No, I'm fine with those. If I can do stuff with a friends list, like
better Wi-Fi.
As long as it works on friends list.
Better Wi-Fi, as long as it has a good, online experience to go with it.
Wi-Fi is pretty bad right now. I will say that. I've done some tests. It is not good. What else? I had a whole list written down. I don't have it anymore. I mean, there's some stuff that they can make with the better, or someone's saying a better battery. Yes, they could have put a bigger battery in the thing. The GPD Win I have has a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. They could still fit a better one in there. Cloud saves, yes, cloud saves is a good one. We need a way to get saves off of our Switch in general right now.
Yeah,
there's no way to get saves off of there. Even if you plug it into the dock, you take a USB stick, you plug it in, it does some proprietary format thing, and then copies your save over to it, and then it's there, but it's locked. I'd be fine with that as well, just as long as I could back my stuff up. Even do an image of your Switch. Remember how with the PS3, you'd be able to do a full image of your PS3 or even your PS4, I guess, and then you could switch your hard drive and flash everything back. Even if you did something like that, I'd be okay with that too. Because it's terrifying. I mean, people put hundreds and hundreds of hours into Zelda. What happens if like your Switch just doesn't turn on anymore, or it gets dropped and breaks, or if somebody steals it?
Right. Exactly.
There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong there. So I hope they.
What was that? Apps.
It took them forever after the 3DS came out to create that like function where you can have an account now. That took so long for them to do after their eShop it came into existence.
So you're saying like Netflix and stuff, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
Apps, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, Netflix, sure. I mean, they could pretty much put anything on there that runs Android. So, I mean, well, not Android, but they could move stuff over from Android to it pretty easily, I believe. I was running ARM. Yep, that's a good one. Mr. Gintama needs a better signal for local play, even. Again, the Wi-Fi is just not good in that system. They could probably fix it. There's a couple things they could do. It might be a firmware issue, even. But
I think it's all, I think, things like video streaming apps, things that make the Switch more of, I don't want to say like a productivity device, but a full entertainment device where you could watch YouTube on there or something like that.
Was anyone else surprised that the Switch didn't come with a stylus?
Kind of.
Right?
I sometimes forget it's a touch screen.
Yeah.
Right, like I touch it, I'm like, ooh, I forgot.
Yeah, I thought about that the other day. I was like, I wonder why this doesn't have a stylus. They make stylus pens for capacitive screens for like iPads and stuff. You can get them. So I was like, I wonder why they didn't do that, because they could have probably done some other stuff with it. That's a good point, especially for productivity, Philip.
Yeah,
if you have a stylus, like how people have like those like note phones and everything, and they have a stylus that they break out to be a jerk, on to look cool. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. Someone said a metal kickstand. I think just a better kickstand in general. Although I have seen companies make worse kickstands. So
yeah,
Psycho. Oh, sorry. It doesn't help my opinion when they send it to me super late. You know what I'm talking about, right, Philip? That terrible kickstand.
Oh god, yeah. Yesterday I was using it, and as I picked it up, it broke off. I picked it up and it broke off. Yeah, I was like, what?
You got that Antank one though, don't you?
Yeah, that one's awesome.
Yeah, I like that
you have that too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
I like that one. Yeah.
It's sad when that one's better than the.
I know, right?
Some people are saying maybe bigger Joy-Cons, I guess, like more ergonomic ones that I guess fit better in your hands.
I could totally see them because, they even sell individual Joy-Cons like Joy-Con L, Joy-Con R by themselves. I can't imagine, like, once Virtual Console does come out, why don't they just make a Joy-Con L with a real D-pad, if that's something you'd be interested in, or just new Joy-Cons with analog triggers,
Well, we need analog triggers for GameCube, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's the point people are forgetting about the Switch is that it's so modular when it comes to the fact that it's got those sliding rails on the side. Even if it comes down to VR, imagine sliding that thing into a VR headset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there are so many things that could go on there. You can think past like controllers or just what we know with Joy-Cons. Like, think outside the box. I think how Nintendo would think, because they always come out of like, the left wing, just like, whoa, where did that come from? So,
oh, that'd be cool to put YouTube on the Switch. Sure, do that.
Yeah.
They could call the new Joy-Cons the new Joy-Con XL Plus.
No,
the new Joy-Con Extra Supreme Plus.
Yeah. It's perfect.
Oh, how did I miss that one? Oh man, Bluetooth. How did we miss that one?
Oh,
Bluetooth headsets or something.
Oh yeah.
Man, they need that. They need that bad. That's one step towards getting rid of the really getting rid of that the phone app is by using that, like getting a Bluetooth headset in there. It was an interesting email they sent out because it does look like they're looking a little bit at maybe improving the Switch with hardware or even software. And I'm curious how many people, I guess, took it and actually answered back correctly. A lot of people will do dumb stuff like, "Oh, the Switch is terrible. Don't do anything." They'll send them that. But I'm curious how many people actually sent constructive criticism, because some people must have for that phone app because they fixed parts of it. Not obviously the fact that it's on the phone still, but they fixed parts of it. So they are listening at least. I don't know. I mean, we're going to see some hardware iterations anyway. The new Switch XL, I guess, stuff like that. I don't know how much bigger they'll make the screen though. Be a little bigger. Well. So, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about in the news this past week? I was trying to think if there's anything else there. It was actually kind of a light news week, believe it or not. Not a lot happened this week.
Yeah, not too many news pieces, but lots of games. So
a lot of games, yeah, a lot of games, yeah. So I still have, like I said, I got to play. Sean, did you see A Hat in Time at all? Did you see that game?
Who?
A Hat in Time.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I haven't picked it up though.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I just didn't know if you had played it yet. I was just curious how it was.
There was one cool thing that was in the news.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
The Retro City Rampage DX getting a physical.
Yeah, I got that press release, and I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be good." Did you see the reversal cover art on that thing?
Yeah, the Mega Drive, or the Master System. Excuse me, Master System.
Dude, that thing looks awesome.
I mean, I'm gonna get the collector's edition because I loved that game. I played it on the 3DS, and like I was like, "Holy crap, this is amazing!" And then, I mean, so yeah, I have no problem buying that game again, and I will play it.
Yeah, it's a great game. I have it. Obviously, I think most of us got it when it came out digitally because it's 100 megabytes or something. It's tiny.
Yeah.
So everyone can just leave it on their internal storage and not even think about it. But the game is awesome. Such a good game. And it's coming physically. Like, all these indie companies are super on board with physical stuff. They're going like in the other direction that the rest of the industry is, right? The rest of the industry has like physical, and now they're going to digital, whereas all the indie developers are going from digital to physical. It's kind of funny to think about that they're going in the opposite direction because they know a lot of us like physical media.
Well, and plus you get impulse buys off of that, when people, as much as, retail stores are, dying off or, business is slowing down, you still get a lot of people that walk into a GameStop or a Best Buy and they look at the box art, and it's like, if you have your game right next to, that's what like Nicalis is doing. You have Super Mario Odyssey and then Cave Story right next to it. And it's like, oh, what's this? And, you can get sales from it. And,
yeah,
the V Blank is actually, I find it interesting that V-Blank, I believe they're the ones producing the game.
They're doing everything.
Yeah, so like that's pretty interesting to me.
But I wonder
they're not putting it in stores. I think they're just doing it on their website, but it's still pretty cool to see. For them to go through all that.
I wonder if we'll continue to see that sort of keep happening as the games library grows and we see bigger, third parties stepping in. I wonder if we're still going to see indie companies still pushing for physical releases, or if this is just kind of.
It kind of depends on how it sells, right? Like if indie games, I think the reason they're doing this is because it's selling so well on the Switch that they're like, let's re-release it technically as a physical one for all the collectors, and we'll do pre-orders on our website, so we'll only have to make as many as we need. It's very interesting though. It's a very interesting time right now because according to some developers that are selling these indie games, they're selling better on the Switch than they are even selling on Steam, which is insane. Like there's a couple developers that are like, yeah, it's selling better. Death Squared, much better on the Switch apparently. They put up the picture. Do you see that where it was Ralph doing the Go Banana thing, and it was like Steam?
SMG Studio loves the Switch. They are all about the Switch. So.
I thought about that. I wonder if we're going to see some indie developers get some kind of like small loyalty to the Nintendo Switch like fan base, and maybe we start seeing some games, indie games anyway, come to the Switch first. I've thought about that too. Super Meat Boy is going to the Switch first, for example, and I feel like that might be because the new one coming out. I feel like that might be a little bit because they saw how well it was selling. With indie games, and of course, I'm sure Nintendo threw some money in their pocket as well.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting to see this. Okay, somebody else is talking about there is 2 Fear Effect games coming to the Switch now, the remaster, and then the new one's coming as well.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty neat.
Very interesting, yes, that this is happening. That it is showing up. When I first saw it, I didn't think the new one would come to the Switch, but I guess they're like, yeah, let's do it. The other one is from the PS1 though. It's from a while ago. I don't think I ever played that one when I was younger. I played it when I got a little older, but I remember I would see it at the stores when we'd rent games, and my parents never rented it for me, probably because of what it looked like it was about. I think it was a mature rated game at the time too, and I was a little younger.
Yeah, it was mature rating, and like the lead character, the female is like a lesbian, so it was kind of like more of an adult game or whatever,
like an adult James Bond kind of, I think is what it was supposed to be like. Yeah, really good. I mean, very highly stylized. Yeah, it's like cel shaded. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. Oh wait, did you, Philip? Someone was asking about the Sinmore. Oh, you got that digitally, didn't you?
What the hell?
Sinmore, yeah, I got the digital version.
Jason Murdoch got the physical version. I ordered it from Amazon, and they like delayed it indefinitely, so I canceled it. You know where he got it? He got it from one of those pop-up trucks.
Probably.
Starland. What is going on here? That makes me mad.
Internet-based jealousy.
Kind of from Starland. Interesting.
Walmart has it for $18 on their website.
What, Sinmore thing?
Yeah.
Something's going on over there at Amazon.
Yeah, I just ordered Axiom Verge. I pre-ordered the physical for that because I'm a sucker for physical. Oh, I see I see Sinmore here. Let me see what it's
I've like pre-ordered or ordered accessories and stuff like that for the Switch. And they just always get back ordered or delayed or just not show up, which is weird. So I think it's just video game products in general, or maybe just Switch.
Interesting. Here's a good one. Ukulele pushed back again on the Switch. Still nothing for it. Apparently Unity was the problem. They released the new Unity and then they slap it on there and it starts to create more problems. You guys think Ukulele is just not going to do well on the Switch now? Do you think it's just too late?
I think it'll be okay. It's not going to do nearly as well as it would have done a couple months ago had it come out.
Sure.
But I mean, it's releasing right around the time Mario's coming out. I think the hype for Ukulele is sort of like, I don't know, everyone who really wanted to play it probably played it already on the other consoles. So I just feel like it's lost its sort of opportunity to excel on Switch.
Yeah. I think you might be right. What about you, Sean? Are you even going to get it on the Switch? Did you already get it on the PS4?
I haven't played it yet.
Oh, okay. It's okay, but there are some archaic parts to it, like that are definitely from the 90s. I'll say that. I got it on the PS4, and it's a fun game, but I think according to what a lot of people have said, Hat in Time might be better. So I might check that out. But
I've heard a lot of people be very positive about Hat in Time.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know how well Ukulele is going to do when it comes out finally, because if it doesn't make this year for release date, they might as well pack it in. I just don't think they're gonna get that kind of money back for. I mean, how much time are they working on this? It feels like they've been working on the Switch version for 9-10 months now, minimum.
Yeah, it's been a long damn time.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna get back for that. Evan, do we have questions in the Discord at all?
I mean, just a couple so far. If anyone from the Patreon wants to drop some questions in the channel I have set up for this, actually, the SpawnCast questions channel. A few of them are a little kind of just generic, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Hit me with it.
But we'll go with like a more common one. What indie games you guys looking for the rest of up to the end of this year?
The biggest one for me is Enter the Gungeon, I think.
Ooh,
I'm a huge fan of that game, so I'm so excited for that to hit Switch. I've been waiting for that for a long time. So it's that one for me.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the list, man. I was waiting for Golf Story and Stardew Valley, and they're both out now. Stardew Valley dropped they announced it, then it dropped 3 days later. So I had to look at the list for that one. I don't know. It might be that game, Evan, that we were just talking about, because I was watching the video for it. Battle Chasers.
Oh yeah,
that
dude,
looks cool.
You might like it because it has RPG elements. It has been maxing, which I think you'll definitely like. It has gear sets and stuff. The combat should be pretty fun for you.
Okay, it might be that one for me. I don't know. I had to look at the list, like I said.
Yeah, because it's so hard right now.
Well, I didn't see what else is coming out this year. I can't remember all the stuff coming out this year.
Even I completely forgot a couple of the games that I'm looking forward to. And if they hit their time, I'd be looking forward to Pray for the Gods. Because that should be December, but who knows?
Pray for the Gods. Oh, interesting.
It's the game heavily inspired by Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Oh man.
It looks amazing, and everything I look at
Look at this
for it is just intense, and I'd really like to see it. But that's PlayStation, Xbox, and PC currently are the only announced systems.
I see that. Yeah, that actually looks pretty cool. That's not November? Yeah. Interesting. Check that one out. There's just so many games coming out, man. You're coming up on the big stretch of games now. Mario Odyssey's gonna take over people's lives, and that's gonna be interesting. No big announcement at Nintendo World Championships, by the way. Nothing major. Something. There was an ARMS trailer, and that was about it.
I don't know why people thought there would be one.
The last one they announced Earthbound Beginnings at the last one.
Did they?
Yeah, and then obviously way back in the day. Remember the Wizard where they did the whole championship thing and they had Mario 3? That was funny.
That was how Mario 3 got unveiled.
Yeah, that's why people were calling for Mother 3, because Earthbound Beginnings, I believe, got announced at the last one. Evan, where's Pocket Rumble, man?
Who even knows anymore? I mean, I reviewed that thing how long ago? We thought it was really going to be an early release game for the Switch, and it's still not out. And I keep checking it, and all their patching are just balances and a couple changes here and there. And
you have it on PC, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still in early access.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to come out on the Switch in March.
Because I keep checking it once every couple of weeks. I'm like, when the hell is this game dropping? It's a real game, and it's just patch note for this week, and it's this long list of this punch does 1 less damage. I'm like, oh my god, I don't even care anymore.
They did talk about at the championships. They had Reggie show up. Did you see that? The quick video he did?
I did not.
He did a quick video, and then he's like, I'm sorry I can't be there. I'm too busy working behind the scenes on, and then they bleeped his mouth. So he's just alluding to something they're working on in the background that we don't know about. Which is interesting. Obviously, new game.
Star Fox Zero returns.
Oh, no.
I think Pocket Rumble is hanging out with the Switch version of Payday 2.
Yeah, what happened to that, too?
I don't know. That's pissing me off, though, because I love Payday games. And I was super looking forward to that, and it's just
hopefully these do land, because it kind of sucks, because this really feels like I guess 4 E3s ago where they announced 2 or 3 games that we still haven't even seen or heard of since. It's kind of awkward because we're just hearing all this, and with this type of stuff, the game's done, so they just have to port it at this point. But it's like extra hurt, I guess, of just not seeing it for a while.
I guess it doesn't really matter though, because Doom.
Yeah.
Doom.
Dude, Doom's gonna be interesting when that comes out. Everyone's gonna be all over that.
I might have to take a day off of work and just play that all day. I loved it. I loved it on the PS4. It's probably still my favorite PS4 game.
I'm really excited to check out the multiplayer on the Switch version, just because I dabbled in it on the PC for a little bit, but I could see myself getting into the Switch version multiplayer.
Have you played the multiplayer recently on Doom?
No.
They completely overhauled it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually really well done now. People are probably not going back to it because it wasn't as good in the beginning. They completely fixed everything pretty much, and it's better.
Maybe it'll have some sort of second wind on Switch, you know?
It might. Yeah, it might.
I didn't think, I never canceled my Sinmora order. It's arriving between October 16th and November 2nd. That's great.
Very narrow window there.
I never thought that Doom's online multiplayer was bad. I thought it was very simplistic, but it was very reminiscent of like old school arena shooters, and like I like the simplicity of it. And you know how there was that mode where the demon would come up on the map and then you could turn into the demon and just wreck people. Like, I don't know. I always enjoyed Doom's simplicity in terms of the multiplayer.
Yeah, you just pick up the gun and you just shoot people. That's
yeah, like, it's like
you don't even reload.
Yeah, it's not one of those, games where you have to like think things through really hard.
There was customization, but I don't think there was like loot boxes or anything like that, right? So
no, there wasn't anything like that.
Yeah.
Everything gets loot box now. Dude, Forza has loot box, and they took stuff out from Forza 6 to make you earn in 7.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. Evan, what else do we have?
How many Switch games have you guys actually completed this year so far?
Ooh, how many Switch games have we completed? That's a good question.
It is the big curse of anyone in this type of industry that you get to that point where you just have all these games in your backlog that you'll never see the ending of.
Well, I can't beat Puyo Puyo Tetris, I guess. There's an end to the story, but that's like a game that just goes on forever. So I won't even count that one because I played all the way through that one. Zelda, there's no end to Mario Kart, is there? That's the problem. Some of these games have no end. Obviously, Zelda, that was an easy one. That was done.
We can probably discount the multiplayer specific games because, I mean, the content for there is always generated by the fact that two people are playing with or against each other.
Mario Rabbids, that got done.
I still haven't played that.
It's pretty.
You haven't played it?
I like.
No, I don't know why.
Oh man, you're missing out. You got to try it.
I did try it. When I say I haven't played it, like I haven't like sat down and played it hardcore. Right. But my lady friend came over and she had it, and I watched her play it for a little bit, and then I played it, and I was like, "Hey, this is pretty neat. I need to play 2K online."
The Sonic Mania count as a Switch game.
Yes, it does.
Okay, good. There you go. That one. I beat Ironcast, kind of. That's like a roguelike. That doesn't really have an end either. Well, none of these games have endings, so I'm thinking about it. That I've played. Obviously Zelda, Mario Rabbids. And then all the other games I don't really have endings. Destiny 2 doesn't have an ending, and I've put a lot of time into that. Now I'm realizing this. A lot of these games just don't have an end.
They want to keep you playing.
2, 3, 4. I guess it'd be 5 Switch games that actually have endings. I guess is what it'd be, because the other ones don't really have endings.
Did you ever beat the Splatoon 2 single player?
Okay, yeah, I guess we can count that. I did finish that one eventually.
Yeah.
Mostly because I want to try the motion controls with it, because I was stuck on the analog ones. I'm counting that one though with 5.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm counting that one at least.
I know I beat like all the games I reviewed, so I'm trying to like think back and look at my actual reviews right now. So I know I beat like, Pokken. Obviously there's no beating FIFA per se, but Mario Rabbids, I finished that. Man, I don't know. It's hard to think back because I feel like I've literally played almost every single Switch game. It's almost all a blur. Actually beat Thumper. Thumper was a lot of fun to beat. Yeah, I don't know. That's all. How many
games that we bought on the Switch? Too many. No.
Too many. Way too many.
All of them.
If you get lucky, you don't have to buy any. Unfortunately, none of us are lucky. Probably, I'd say about half the games I have on the Switch I bought, and then the other half were sent. That sounds right. That sounds right. So I guess I've bought what, like 6 or 7 Switch games, something like that.
I think I have like
Yes.
40 plus Switch games. And I've bought 35 of them. So,
Yeah. See, I haven't been that unlucky.
That's rough.
I haven't had any physical Switch games sent to me. It's all digital.
Yeah, Nintendo is only doing digital, which sucks and pisses me off. And most of the time, like I have to like hit up people for like GameStop display boxes because I have that many problems. I'm like, yo, can you give me a GameStop display box of this game? They sent me a digital copy. I need something for my shelf. I literally have a GameStop display box of NBA 2K18 for the Switch. Like the pre-order coming soon, but the spine is perfect because it looks just like a normal Switch game. It says NBA 2K18, Nintendo Switch. I'm like, yes, this is great.
I have not finished SteamWorld Dig 2 yet. No, I'm still working through that one.
Oh yeah, that's an amazing game. I beat
That's
that
harder
game as
I have
well.
it's harder because I have it on my PC, so I can't really play it while like videos are rendering or something. Whereas on the Switch I can. But it runs well on the PC. I will say that runs really well. And then Cuphead. I'm almost done Cuphead. I'm so close. That's not a Switch game, but I'm so close to being done Cuphead. That game is so hard.
That game is brutal. I actually downloaded that game. That's the first Xbox game I bought in like 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. No, I got it on Xbox.
Oh, okay.
I wanted the console experience. But it's fun. I love that game. It's so much fun. Such a hard game.
Oh, it's an awesome game. I like it a lot. Did you get Cuphead, Sean?
I actually bought it like 2 nights ago, and I completely forgot I bought it because I haven't played it, and like literally you just reminded me that I have it.
Go play it. Go play it. It's good. It's a game you wouldn't expect to be on the Xbox. I'll say that.
Have you guys seen that video floating around YouTube of someone playing Cuphead on like a classic CRT TV?
Yeah, that was really cool. That was who was that?
awesome.
That was what's that person's name? I've seen their channel before. It's actually really cool. I like that a lot though. That was really cool. It was like an old TV.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find a link for that and then drop it in the chat.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, Cuphead is good. It's going to be a lifetime exclusive. Lazy Game Reviews. Thank you. That's going to be a lifetime exclusive to the Xbox. So weird. I hope it sells well on the Xbox because it's selling.
Let's come on.
It's selling well on the PC. On Steam, it's selling really well. It's over 230,000 copies already, which is good because it's so worth the $20. I hope those 30 million Xboxes. I mean, come on, throw them a bone here. That game took so long to make. Everything is hand animated. It's ridiculous. And the boss is like, it's so cool. If you haven't played it, Sean, it's awesome because they drop you in and you play against a boss. Essentially, you don't run through a stage. They just throw you in against the boss, and the boss is essentially the entire stage.
Yeah, it's multi-tiered though. It's
Yes.
the entire length of time you would take on an average stage to get through.
But like I'll be like a boss is like anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes, but the boss has like 3 or 4 different forms as you play through it, and you get upgrades and stuff for your person. You change stuff out and everything, but it's tough. It's very hard. But when you do beat it, it feels awesome. But you were going to rage a bit. I'll say that.
That's fine. I need to check it out. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I bought it and
yeah,
it's just sitting there.
They do have run and gun stages where you actually go through levels. But for the most part, the ones that I really enjoy are the ones. Oh, someone said almost 400,000 copies on Steam. That's good. The ones that I really like are seriously just the boss battles are great. It's so much fun. But then they have like the regular mode. Then they have like the simple mode, so you can play through the simple mode if some people were talking about it on, of course, forums like, oh, you got to get good and play through the regular version. It's like, I guess it's not that big of a deal. The regular version is like hard mode, I guess, and then the simple is just normal mode. But it's good. How many of the bosses have you played against, Philip?
I played against I think the first 2, maybe 3 bosses.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the onion one is the only one that I actually was able to beat.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's not bad. They have a whole parry system too, but I think the parry system could have been done better. But it's there. You have to jump and then you hit A again at the right time, and you'll kind of bounce off of the item, and your super meter will fill up more.
Yeah,
so
it's a pretty cool mechanic. I like using it during the boss fights to kind of build that super.
Yeah. You'll see like the little, because they're like pink items that kind of float around. That'll give it to you. Someone was making a point that it's all over YouTube right now, and that's a great example of a game probably doing really well with the exposure that it's getting. Not obviously, that's not really why it's going to be successful, but it's definitely helping it. And that kind of leads into the whole thing with Nintendo and their weird streaming, habits right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very odd. I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, that's the thing. YouTube really helps these games heavily, especially like indie game developers, man. They sometimes they'll show up like in your email asking you to play the game, like, hey, can you please play this game? I see it so much. So it's like, I guess the bigger companies just are like, nah, we don't care, just don't play our games. And then the smaller guys are like, begging you for it. So we got anything else, Evan, in the Discord, man?
A couple things. I mean, we can play an over/under game for how many copies of Mario Odyssey we think are going to sell on the release.
Okay. On the release day or the release
1 week.
1 week creates 1 week. Okay,
we'll do the 1 week.
Okay. So what do you? Okay, wait. Go ahead.
We doing worldwide or just?
Oh, are we doing over/under right now? Or are we doing?
Highest without going over. We'll do that.
Highest without going over. Ooh, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Okay. Trying to think how many Switches are out there right now.
It's not even how many Switches are out there right now. How many they're going to have by the release?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to add up in my head.
I'm almost thinking it's going to be a 1-to-1 attach rate. I mean, this is.
Think so?
This
Man,
is a game.
I don't know. I mean,
I say first week worldwide, 1.5 mil.
Okay, 1.5 million. Sure. Oh yeah, I could see that.
I'll write you down for that.
I'm gonna go with 2 million for the first week.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. He's going big, man. He's going big.
Big.
I'm going big. It's Mario.
That is true. The only thing I'm factoring in is like people like parents and Christmas and holidays, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's a good point. We might have to wait, but
Might wait a little bit.
yeah, paychecks even affect it. Like, is this the week that I can actually buy it? I've been there. So 2.4, 1.5. Yeah, okay. So you got us all down, Evan?
Yeah, I'll probably just to be a little bit of a dick. 3.1 mil.
Oh,
He's that guy on. Like,
I'm that guy.
right.
That's great. That's great. I thought you were gonna go big, Evan, for like 4 million or something.
No.
Some massive amount. 10 million Mario Odysseys. People just bought 4 of them. Do you have questions in there, Evan, at our Patreon Discord that people can go to and ask questions?
Do you guys believe that Sony has become a bit complacent?
Yes, that's easy. Yeah, they absolutely have.
It's a fairly easy one.
That's not even a question. It happens to all these companies that get super far ahead, and they just stop caring as much. Sony's going to be Sony at this point because they can do what they want. They can dabble in VR, whereas the other two companies can't right now. So that's going to be something they'll play around with. But I mean, they're bringing games like Spider-Man looks great, God of War looks great, Monster Hunter World. It's on the other systems, but it's going to the PS4 also. So I don't know. It seems like Sony can't do anything wrong right now, but there's another generation of consoles coming, and I think Microsoft wants to get there real bad right now. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any pitfalls that Sony could fall into right now. I really can't see any. They're pretty much just set up to coast the rest of the generation. I think even if they have a more powerful competitor to it, I really don't see any way other than that. Like, that's the only thing Microsoft have over them is our PC that we put out is better than your PC that you put out. That's the only reason I can think of why their CEO quit is because there's not much else to do at this point, and they're just going to coast. So that's
I mean, I agree. I think they've become very complacent, but
Like the whole releasing a new PSVR headset with like just some slight upgrades. Like, did anyone really ask for that? You know, did we really need another one?
The interesting thing I've noticed this. The interesting thing about the PlayStation VR community is there are not a lot of them, but the ones that are there are kind of vocal. Actually, it's very interesting. And I think because it's so new, Sony wants to get it right. But like, you're right. The thing that they brought to the table was like, you don't need to unplug things for HDR to work anymore. You know, you don't have to remove the box from the equation. It just works. And then the other thing was like they kind of molded the headset cable into like one or something like that. Very small things, and it's just going to kind of work its way into stock. That's about it. It's gonna be the same price and everything. I don't know. VR is weird as it is. VR has a long way to go before it's gonna be anywhere. Did you guys see the Halo VR
experience? They're not even calling it a game. It's just the experience, right?
Yeah, that's a tech demo.
Yeah.
And then they had Samsung released a new VR headset to go along with Microsoft. And the problem is all these headsets are 400 and up. Like, I don't know people are going to go out and buy that. Because then you also have to buy a PC or a game system. In this case, PC, I guess, because it doesn't work with the Xbox. It's so weird, this whole VR thing. Like, they all want it to work, but no one knows how to make this stuff work together. They need a company to come in, and I swear I still think it's Nintendo to come in and actually like bring it all together for the mainstream. But I don't even know how a Nintendo would do it at this point. So it's just VR is going to be a while. I would expect another 10 years before it becomes anywhere near mainstream.
The Virtual Boy 2.0.
Yeah, right.
It's coming.
Yeah, you need characters right now, like IPs that are worth something to the mainstream. Mario is worth something. I don't even think Crash Bandicoot's worth something to the mainstream right now, to where you recognize him. Mario, you could get away with Sonic even. I think Mario might be the biggest one, where you could slap him on the outside of a VR, thing, and it's like, hey, go explore Mushroom Kingdom, and people seriously probably stop and look at it when they're in the video game section, even like a mom or something.
Yeah.
It's weird. VR is weird right now. It's so tough.
Weird right now. It's always been weird.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone thinks they want it, but then it always just becomes like the same slew of games, the same experience across the board, and then people just become uninterested.
The problem is the setup, man. Oh man, like if people come home from work, do they really want to like? We had this same argument with the Wii. Remember this, Evan, where we talked to people about this? Do you really want to come home and stand up and like bowl and do all this other stuff? Or do you just want to sit down and pick up a controller and play a game? Like,
that's why I love Resident Evil 7 on PSVR. It's because you can choose, like if you just want to sit down and play with the controller, if you want to put the headset on. I think that for me, at least, is what I think is the future of VR and video games, is having that choice,
just options. Yeah.
Right, exactly, because it's just a lot cooler, I think, to be able to play a game the way you want to play it. So,
like, I have to put a leash on to play the Vive, like,
right?
Because people are starting to find that in VR, like you have the biggest part of the community can't really handle good-looking movement if you're not actually physically moving. So, like, that's a massive limit to the games themselves. That's why we're getting these games where you teleport. The Doom one is a teleportation-based system. I saw an ad for a VR game on Steam, and that's the same thing. It's teleportation, so you can get around. But like, once you add movement and once you add all that kind of momentum, people start to feel a little queasy. You get that extra motion sickness when your body's telling you you're moving forward, but you're not feeling it.
Yeah, that's why the ones where you're in like a mech and driving a mech around, or in a plane like Ace Combat, works so much better. Like, you don't have to actually move. You're in a cockpit of like a plane. It's so much better that way. It makes a lot more sense. Or roller coasters, obviously. VR is weird. It's going to be weird for a while, so get used to it. Until they can come up with an all-in-one thing where you just got to buy one thing and it's fairly priced, it's going to be tough to sell. Even they couldn't even sell the Gear VR to people, and it works off your phone that we all have. Like, it's insane. What else do we have, Evan? Anything?
Some of it's fairly basic. Do you think that Phantasy Star Online 2 will ever come to the Switch? I think we had that last week.
No, I don't think so. It's a shame too. It's a shame. If it hasn't made its way over here yet on PC, which would be so much easier to bring over, as opposed to the Switch, which is a streamed service. It's not even on your Switch. I don't think they're going to do that.
Did anybody keep up with the news coming out of the Nintendo World Championships?
I got them watching it. Oh gosh, who won? Someone in the chat was saying it. Person won. No big announcements. There was
no real announcements.
No, they showed more Mario Odyssey footage. I think that was about it. Fortunately, I didn't go up there to try to cover anything on it because nothing actually happened. But oh gosh, people are pointing this out. Yes, Knack 2 did flop badly.
Shocking.
I didn't even realize that came out. Wow.
No one did. It didn't even make it to the charts of Media Creates or whatever when it came out. Thomas G won. Yes. So there were like these estimates of like 2,500 Knack copies sold or something. Not good. I don't know what happened there. I guess they thought it was going to work. Apparently, it's better than the first one.
Is there any
I guess
marketing for it?
No, you didn't know it came out.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't think there was any marketing.
Just adds to the complacency.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they figure we got a 63 million install base. We'll just put this out and 1 million copies will sell no sweat because we just did law of numbers. Not anymore. That's what's very interesting about some of these games that we're paying attention to now. This big install base seems to be having less of an effect as what I think Microsoft and even Sony were thinking. It's very odd. Like, you think you have 63 million PS4s. It's starting to become more and more obvious now that some of those PS4s may be Netflix machines right now.
Right.
It's not just me, right? It seems like I'm looking at some of these charts and I don't know how that's happening. Like, you would figure if you get like a million copies of 63 million is a very small attach rate, right? If you want 10% of a 63 million base, you should sell at least 6 million copies, but that rarely happens right now with third-party games, which is it's telling. I think it's very interesting what's happening here.
It's like, what are people doing? What are they buying?
I really think this is what I think is happening. People buy these things off impulse buy, whether it's from like getting reimbursement checks or whatever, from like tax reimbursements or whatever, anything they get money from, or maybe they actually do save up for it. They want it for one game, right? That's what you usually buy a PS4. You buy it because Crash Bandicoot was on it. You buy it, you play it, and then it becomes a Netflix machine. It becomes a streaming box. And I'm seeing this with a lot of people who I see on Twitter. It's like, oh, that's my Netflix box. I don't even call it a PS4. I don't even call it an Xbox One. OJ tells me he uses Xbox One for Twitch. That's his Twitch box. And it's like, that's so weird. But people who buy the Switch, because there are no streaming apps on it right now, it's not a Netflix box. It's just strictly a gaming system. And maybe that's why we're seeing some of these attach rates, because the people who have the Switch are only there for games. They're not there to watch Netflix on it. So they're not inflating numbers through that method. And maybe that's why they didn't want Netflix on there. I don't know. It's weird.
It's a really interesting point that you bring up, because that essentially is true. If you're holding a Switch, you're playing a game. You're not, or you're looking to which game you're going to play. You're not doing really anything else. Maybe you're checking out the news feed, but other than that, you're definitely not chatting with friends.
Switch while I'm watching Netflix on my PS4. It's interesting. Maybe that's why they didn't want Netflix. I just thought of that just now on the fly. I wonder if that's why they didn't want that on the Switch. It's really weird. I don't know how many people in the chat use their PS4 or their Xbox One even for just media, Blu-ray, streaming, and Netflix, and haven't played a game in weeks on it. I'm seriously curious, because I feel like that happens more than we think. Because people buy the PS4 because they want a game on it, and then they realize they don't want much else. Maybe they play Madden every year, and then it's a Netflix box the rest of the year.
Right. And it's also those people that buy all three consoles, but they have a favorite, and they just have the other consoles for the exclusives or whatever that come out once a year, twice a year. So
some people say they just haven't turned their PS4 on in months. Oh gosh. I haven't turned it on. There's some good games on it.
I haven't played mine in a while though. I've been playing a lot of Xbox One stuff. Granted, I just got
that's just got it, man. That's like the new shiny toy in the house.
Yeah.
That's the new shiny toy. Now I've been playing Destiny on mine, but and I mean, when I get the X, I'll probably be playing that more, because it'll be interesting to see, and it'll have super sampling across the board, which is cool. But it'll be interesting to see. I see a lot of Xbox media player, PS4 is media player, YouTube machine. Okay, that makes sense. So I think that's interesting theory. That might be why they didn't want Netflix right away. Because they want, and you know what is really funny? The game developers might not want Netflix on there at all, because then they don't have to worry about, they don't have to compete with Netflix, right? Netflix is an unlimited source of entertainment. It really is. And it takes up entertainment time. People don't realize this. People, even though video games and movies and video games and Netflix aren't in the same category, they both rely on your entertainment hours, because we all have limited entertainment hours, and you have to split it up between stuff. Some of us will watch Netflix and play games at the same time, but believe it or not, we're actually pretty low in terms of I guess that's not the case. Whereas the Switch can easily be played while you're watching something, so, or 3DS or Vita or anything like that. So very interesting, very interesting. Yes, I do think everyone should have a Switch and a PC, and you should have at least 4 monitors.
And a Sega Saturn.
Evan, no, I just said because I just set up a 4th monitor over here.
It's in the most awkward position. We got to get that fixed.
Yeah, I need like an arm. I might not even have the it's set up anymore like that. It's just stupid. I just wanted to do it just to be stupid. My video card only just does up to 4 displays.
Sounds so disappointed.
Oh well. I know. I wanted 6. I wanted like the Minority Report thing. It's like, oh, or no, I guess that's from what's that's from Grandma's Boy, where you walk in and he's like the robot dude has like 6 screens in front of him.
Oh yeah. Just get you one of those like super reclining chairs, go all the way back.
Cheers. Oh man. Do we have anything else, Evan?
Everything's just kind of like at this point. The rest of the questions are more just like our thoughts on the possibility of something, such as like Nintendo actually partnering with Nvidia for their next thing of hardware. I mean, that's so far in the future. Like,
that's probably already done. They have a 20-year thing they're doing apparently. But let's. I guess we can jump over to the chat for a few minutes before we close it up. If there's anybody in the chat who had a question for any of these good fellas here, or just the podcast in general, we can answer a couple. So we can go through those. Oh, did you guys see the while we're waiting? Did you guys see the Game Boy trademark got approved for Nintendo?
I did.
It's a game. It's like a Game Boy that it almost looks like how it was before with the Super Nintendo Classic, right? Like that controller. In this case, it's a Game Boy. So maybe there's a Game Boy Classic coming. That could be cool.
That would be cool.
What do I think Retro Studios is working on? They're working on a new IP, so it's anyone's guess. If I had to take a guess, though, I would say probably an action platformer of some kind.
I think we get that Retro Studio question like once a week from all
because everybody wants
people.
to know what they're working on because they keep trolling people on Twitter.
Yep.
That's all they do. And Retro Studios is a very talented studio, so that's why everyone wants to know. They've done some great stuff in the past. So yeah, I'm getting I'm not getting the Xbox One X. I'm getting the Scorpio edition Xbox One S. Get it right. No, I'm getting one. Yes, I have to take it apart, which is kind of sad that it has to be the Scorpio edition because I guarantee that one's going to be worth some money down the road with how people are probably because they didn't have that many of them. But I'll put it back together and I'll put like a piece of electrical tape where the warranty seal is. Yes, I did see Max's video about GameStop. Yes, I completely believe that happened.
Yeah, I've heard stories worse. So
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Yes. Did you guys see Max's video?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yep, I completely believe it because it's GameStop. I've seen it. Not that bad, like obviously, but I've seen some bad things there. Seasons of Heaven. Who cares? I have a feeling because they didn't actually have a dev kit. They were just doing all that on PC, and they ran into trouble, and they're gonna disappear. Maybe I don't know. There's better games. The problem is, again, they should have been out when the Switch launched because then they wouldn't have as much competition as they have now on the Switch.
I remember that. Seasons of Heaven.
That's because they were one of the first games to come out that were like, hey, look how the visuals on the Switch look. Remember that? Because we were looking for anything we could about what the Switch looked like visually. Oh, man. Yes, PUBG, apparently they're talking to PlayStation already about moving over to Sony PlayStation as well. So, and apparently Xbox is trying to throw money at them to keep them on the Xbox. That's the whole thing. And it's hilarious because apparently, according to Evan, Fortnite is better. So
well, it's arguably better. It's definitely smoother, and I feel like a lot more people can actually enjoy it than what PUBG throws at you with its complete mess of programming.
And it's free. Fortnite's free right now.
Yeah, completely free.
You think Nintendo will kill the Switch online app in 2018? Possibly. Nintendo is very stubborn though, so there's a chance that they don't do that because they're just like that. I would like to see them give us options though. You can use the phone app, but you don't have to. I'd like them to be like you can just plug in your headset and that's that. So, let's see. Return the Xbox One for the Switch. Yeah, okay. really, you should, if you have an Xbox One, you might as well just get a PC. And really, PC and Switch is a pretty solid combination. But there are a lot of exclusives on the PS4, like Spider-Man, which looks awesome. I have to get Spider-Man. Not a big God of War fan. I never really played a lot of God of War. I'll check out the new one, but I played 1 and 2 on the PS2, and then I fell out of it after that.
The new one looks good though. I like the new.
The new one isn't very God of War-y.
Yeah.
Like, it's in name, yes, but everything else doesn't look very.
It feels like they're trying to achieve that cinematic experience that I think they're trying to focus more on in action games to try to give people a story rather than a button masher.
I like the sound of that. That's why it's probably so interesting to me. It looks better. Looks different. That's what I really want.
Yeah, definitely.
The Atari box, I don't know. The Atari box is the Atari box is being the Atari box right now.
I think it's gonna be such a piece of crap.
I don't really know how they're going to. Philip, have you been following the Atari box?
Kind of. I mean, I just think it's a little ridiculous at this point. I think they're going about it the wrong way.
Some of the new information that came out in the past week or two, where they have the pricing and everything.
No, I didn't hear anything about the pricing.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. It's going to be an AMD processor. So I was talking about that in the video prior. So I guess it's going to be. I kind of made a list of all the specs that I think are going to be in it. I was going to try to build it just to see. But okay. So Atari box is going to be between $250 and $300.
Oh man.
This is according to their CEO person or developer or whatever. And it's going to be fully funded by the fans. It's going to be crowdsourced. Crowdfunded on Indiegogo.
Yeah, I heard it was on Indiegogo. I think that's ridiculous.
Well, you didn't tell them the best part, though.
What's that?
It has real wood. It has real wood.
Is that actual real wood? I wasn't sure.
It's actual real wood. They haven't shown you a single game or anything else, but they've told you how much it's going to be and the fact that it has real wood.
They've also told us that there's going to be like 3 different versions of it. So
yeah. They're telling us and showing us everything that we don't really care about right now. We just want to see what kind of games it's going to play, you know, like what is it going to be working with, you know, how is it going to work exactly? But why would they spit out the price first? Like, see, I think that throws off a lot of people. A lot of people right there are not interested anymore, you know, so.
It's very odd to do that because they said, oh, it's going to be the same price as basically said it's going to be the same price as the PS4 or even the Xbox One. But it's not going to play any of the bigger games is what they said. It'll play the indie games, but not like the big games, but you're still spending the same amount of money. But it streams Netflix.
So who is this console for? You know, like who is it for?
No one.
No one really knows. It's for people like me who would want to, because it's running on Linux. So I would like to get it and use it as like a mini computer to play around with it and stuff. But I make up 1% of the people who actually buy stuff, like my kind of people. It's not going to sell to a mom in the store like the mainstream that makes up like 75% of the market. It's not selling to them. That market has been dormant for a long time since the Wii went away. The PS4 is as close as possible to that demographic, but I think the PS4 is going to start slowing down soon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's I don't think it's going to get to 100 million. I think it's going to show up around 80 to 85 is where it's going to end, but that's pretty good. Anyway, I do think it's just there's just no one there who wants this thing. I barely want it, and it's like built for me. Like I more want it to open it up and check it out than anything else. I didn't play the Starfront. I didn't play the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta. I didn't play it. I didn't actually get it. I don't think. I don't really pursue it much though, because I'll just get it when it comes out.
Yeah,
I know Max played it. Phil, did you play it?
No, but I heard it was good. I heard that they fixed a lot of the shooting issues and stuff like that. Yeah, Max did make a good video on it. You guys should check that out.
So I guess that's about it. We end with the Atari box. Awesome. Oh man. Okay, let's go around here. Where can you find you, Sean?
RGT85 on YouTube, Twitter, writing on Nintendo Enthusiast. I'll say here in the chat. I will be, if any of you guys are going to Retro World Expo this upcoming next Saturday, I'll be there all day Saturday. Got a panel with Wood from Beat 'em Ups at 3, and then another panel for the Bits of Yesterday documentary, which is a documentary that I was a part of for retro game collecting and culture That's at 6 that same day. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. What about you, Philip?
You guys can find me on YouTube right here. Just go ahead and search Philip, F-I-L-I-P. I'm actually working on a pretty big video that I'm kind of actually proud of. I'm proud of all my videos, but this one in particular is something that it's really special to me. So I hope you guys can check it out. It's going to be up in the next day or two. Yeah, that's where I'm in.
Very good. Very good. And then you, Evan?
Well, I mean, hopefully I'll be doing a couple more videos for Spawnwave Media as my schedule starts to open up and not be so crappy. But let me just link in chat. You can find that name at Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. You can check out that channel or its partner channel, even though I don't really do stuff with them right now because I'm focusing on some other things. But yeah, hopefully
You're doing Inktober, right?
Yeah, doing Inktober, so my Instagram and my Twitter
Inktober.
keep blowing up with all the stuff I'm working on.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And then, of course, you can find us here every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then, of course, weekdays, Newswave throughout the week, and then fun stuff on the weekend. Thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you check out our Patreon page to get access to our Discord. We can ask questions, see behind-the-scenes stuff, all that good stuff. And I guess that will do it for us here tonight. Thanks, guys, for tuning in with us, and we'll see you next week for more SpawnCast.